Alright, I'll give you two choices. First, I kill you now. Second, you go outside. Maybe you'll have a slim chance to survive. Meidaji, with a flickering gaze, said, "Thank you, big brother, for sparing me. I'll go outside." Watching Meidaji walk out, Lin Luo's voice turned icy. "Master of Wishes, I wish that within 5 minutes, 200 insects will appear around him." Meidaji, feeling secretly relieved as he escaped the store, thought the convenience store's glass was already broken. It was only a matter of time before insects would come in. Everyone will die soon. He knew a nearby place to hide. Suddenly, a giant locust pounced on him and more insects emerged from the fog, swarming over his body, frenziedly gnawing at him. To his death, he couldn't understand why he was so unlucky to encounter so many insects as soon as he stepped outside. Lin Luo gently stroked Wen Yuxi's hair, reassuring her. "Sister Wen, don't be afraid. It's all over now." When Wen Yuxi looked up at Lin Luo and asked softly, "Did you really let him go?" Lin Luo replied gravely, "Of course not. How could I easily forgive someone who dared to harm the most important person to me? Only by letting him die under the fangs of countless insects can he repay a fraction of his sins." Wen Yuxi's face blushed at his words, just as she was about to ask more. Lady Kaguya suddenly appeared beside them, curiously asking, "Master, is she the one who will become your girlfriend?" Lin Luo was dumbfounded and scolded loudly. "Lady Kaguya, don't talk nonsense." Wen Yuxi, already shy, turned away, unwilling to look at Lin Luo anymore. Lady Kaguya's face showed confusion as she earnestly asked, "Don't you like her? You said before that she's very important to you." At this point, Lin Luo was both embarrassed and excited, but he didn't deny Lady Kaguya's words. Instead, he chuckled sheepishly, seeing Wen Yuxi also looking at him. He became somewhat flustered. Just then, Wen, who had fainted, suddenly woke up. Wen Yuxi quickly rushed over and hugged her, checking her injuries. Finding that she was mainly just having a headache, she carefully helped her up. Seeing Lin Luo, a stranger, Wen clung to Wen Yuxi in fear. "Wen, don't be afraid. He's my good friend. Lin Luo, you saved us." Wen Yuxi reassured her, blushing. Wen looked at Lin Luo curiously, wondering when Wen Yuxi had such a handsome friend. Lin Luo, seeing both girls were safe, urged them to leave quickly. There's no barrier at the door, and soon a swarm of insects will fill the place. Half an hour later, Lin Luo escorted Wen Yuxi to her home. Upon opening the door, Li Jiwenjia greeted Wen Yuxi with a look of joy, and the mother and daughter hugged tightly, both somewhat shaken. After settling down in the living room, Li Jiwenjia served Lin Luo fragrant tea and praising him profusely. Lin Luo, slightly embarrassed and scratching the back of his head, noticing her father's absence. When Wen Yuxi asked her mother about it, Li Jiwenjia's expression turned worried. "Your dad, a public servant, was notified to stay on duty at the office today. I hope he's safe." Lin Luo paused, realizing the timing. When Wen Yuxi's father worked in a service center with open doors, easily accessible to insects, they probably didn't know about the insect's photoactive nature. If the building's lights attract insects, isn't that like an open invitation? He thought. Suddenly standing up, Lin Luo spoke seriously. "Anyway, Sister Wen, I must go to Uncle Wen's office right now." Wen Yuxi immediately objected. "No, it's too dangerous outside. There are insects everywhere." Lin Luo looked at her tenderly, reassuring. "Don't worry, Sister Wen. I will bring Uncle Wen back safely." Half an hour later, Lin Luo arrived at the Hang City Service Center. Faint cries and shouts could be heard inside, suggesting he was too late and insects had already attacked. Lin Luo suddenly felt an oppressive aura and looked around cautiously. Mouse-level disaster creatures shouldn't be higher than level 20. Just then, part of the office building's upper left corner collapsed, revealing a shadow dozens of meters tall in the fog. Lin Luo gasped in shock. "It's a wormhole guardian." He gazed at the wormhole guardian, slightly dazed. Creatures and disasters typically come through wormholes, and those near the wormholes, called wormhole guardians, have higher levels. Killing a wormhole guardian can stop the corresponding area's disaster before the world descended into chaos. The authorities had once released information. Anyone who provides the specific location of a wormhole guardian and contributes to its siege will receive extremely generous rewards. Lin Luo thought, staring at the wormhole guardian. A level 30+ behemoth. He wondered if it was luck or misfortune. But his priority was to save Uncle Wen. Inside the office building, Guanbong and Wen Jiangwo were hiding from the insects, barricading themselves in an archive room with cabinets against the door. The two soon-to-retire men trembled in fear, sweating profusely as the door dented under the insects' attacks. Never in their lives had they faced anything more bizarre and terrifying than this day. Suddenly, the window above Wen Jiangwo's head shattered, causing both men to scream in terror. But after a while, no insects came through the window, and the banging outside ceased. Then, Lin Luo's voice came from outside. "Uncle Wen, it's Lin Luo. Are you in there?" When Jiangwo looked astonished, Lin Luo, they hurriedly opened the door and saw Lin Luo, short-bladed in hand, smiling as he greeted them with the bisected insects on the ground no longer struggling. Meanwhile, at Hang City's martial arts square, Yute Jia, clenching his teeth, lamented. Sacred Forest, the secret realm for energy acquisition, was cleared by Dark Emperor before us. Yute Jia had sacrificed many global firsts to gather these strongest awakeners. And now Dark Emperor had beaten him to the realm. The secret realms display showed. Clearing player, Dark Emperor, time, 1 hour 52 minutes. Remaining refresh time, 18 hours. Ching Fan, curious, asked, "He spent so long? Did he solo the realm? How did his substitute sustain the energy for such a prolonged battle?" Yute Jia, grim-faced, explained. "Normally, the energy consumption isn't this high. You can just help NPCs at the right time. I just didn't expect someone to beat us to it." Liu speculated. "Old you, seems like Dark Emperor is also a time traveler like you." Yute Jia, face ashen, admitted it was likely, but couldn't fathom how Dark Emperor had stolen his power and traveled with him. "The only shortcoming of us, the SS class, and above Awakeners, is that substitute requires a massive energy supply. But now's not the time for that. I know other realms for energy farming. I refuse to believe he's cleared them all. And as for Dark Emperor, I'll have to confront him sooner or later." Just then, Lin Luo had just escorted Father Wen home. Father Wen, still dazed, couldn't grasp the day's surreal events, finding it unbelievable that such terrifying insects were easily chopped up by the young man his family had been supporting since childhood. Lin Luo, noticing Uncle Wen's confusion, quickly explained, "Uncle Wen, I've awakened an S-level talent, which enables me to kill those insects." Uncle Wen, surprised, responded, "Is an S-level talent that strong? We've also awakened talents. For example, I've awakened a D-level talent, Strength, which accelerates physical recovery. I can now climb 5 floors without getting out of breath." Andy Wen also shared with interest, "I've awakened a C-level talent, Wisdom. It has greatly improved my memory. They say it can even prevent senile dementia." When Yusi, with her hands affectionately on Lin Luo's shoulders, boasted, "I'm even more impressive than you two. I've awakened an A-level talent, Heavenly Voice. It makes my singing more beautiful and can restore everyone's stamina and add various beneficial effects." At this moment, Annie Wen curiously asked Lin Luo, "Lin Luo, what talent did you awaken?" Lin Luo paused for a moment, knowing that directly asking about someone's talent was taboo in the current environment. However, he understood Annie Wen's simple concern and curiosity and replied, "Auntie, I've awakened an S-level talent called Heavenly Justice. It's a talent, powerful offensive capabilities." When Yusi, with an expectant look, said, "Lin Luo, you're so amazing. I'm too scared to go on dungeon runs. Take me with you when you have time." Uncle Wen, somewhat emotional, remarked, "Every generation has its talents. Lin Luo, your social status in the future will be very high. Make sure to seize this opportunity." Responding to the future father-in-law's advice, Lin Luo naturally promised to do so. Uncle Wen, standing up tiredly, said, "Lin Luo, you've worked hard today. It's getting late, and we have a guest room. You can stay here for the night." Lin Luo was momentarily stunned and felt somewhat embarrassed seeing this when Yusi quickly grabbed his hand to show him the room. Uncle Wen watched Lin Luo's back, lost in thought. Back then, it was because he saw the two of them being overly intimate that he talked to Lin Luo, leading to the self-conscious Lin Luo voluntarily cutting off ties with the Wen family. He never imagined that the orphanage boy would become their family's savior after many years of separation. The next morning, Lin Luo woke up from his sleep feeling somewhat bewildered by everything that happened the previous day. He had not only saved Sister One and Uncle One, but also ended up staying at their house. The warmth he felt was comforting. But he knew it wasn't time to relax yet. There's still a lot for him to do. His brother is still waiting for his rescue. The priority now is to strengthen himself, to seek out the next S-level or higher substitute as soon as possible. In a building, a middle-aged man is focusing on conjuring his substitute. With an evil face, he declares, "With the fear and despair of all beings, I summon you, Fear Demon King." Behind him, endless evil flames surge up, and the terrifying figure of a demon king-like entity instantly appears. The middle-aged man looks at the figure with joy, laughing somewhat maniacally. "Is this an S-level substitute? My very own S-level substitute." The Fear Demon King looks down at the man and whispers, "My servant, go forth, sacrifice the fear and despair of living beings to me. I will grant you invincible power." Hu Jinming, still immersed in the madness of summoning an S-level substitute, is oblivious to the impending danger. His little daughter, somewhat timidly, calls out, "Daddy." This brings him back from his frenzy. He crouches down and gently touches his daughter's head, calming her fears and softly saying, "Daddy's going out to buy you something tasty. Will you wait for me at home?" The daughter's fearful gaze never dissipates. She is genuinely scared of her father's substitute. After speaking, Hu Jinming, accompanied by the Fear Demon King, walks out the door, heading into the fog without hesitation, leaving his daughter alone, frightened in the corner. After leaving the One family, he immediately begins choosing his next plunder target among the 15 executives of the Smiling Coffin organization. Lu Ming and Zhou Yu have already been eliminated by him. There are 2 others confirmed to have awakened S-level talents, Hu Jinming and Gu Tao. Lin Luo immediately instructs Master of Wishes to send him Hu Jinming's location. Master of Wishes quickly harnesses the power of the Book of Wishes. Moments later, a person's coordinates appear in Lin Luo's mind. He turns his head, his profound gaze seeming to pierce through the endless fog to a certain figure. He leaps from the rooftop and swiftly heads in that direction. The joy of the hunt brings a genuine smile to Lin Luo's face. Soon, the fog resounds with the screams of insects and the Fear Demon King's wild laughter. As the Fear Demon King rampages, Hu Jinming's level also starts to skyrocket. This feeling of leveling up effortlessly and quickly without moving a muscle drives him into further madness. He's actually a tragic figure. His family was poor but always happy and harmonious. Then, his wife ran off with a wealthy person and he constantly faced ridicule and humiliation. He became despondent until the moment of global awakening when he awakened the extremely rare dual S-level talent. Emotion Detonator, summoning the SS-level substitute. Fear Demon King, with the fear and despair of all in Hang City. Just as Hu Jinming revels in his triumph, the Fear Demon King's deep voice resonates. "Servant, my power is still too weak. The souls of these creatures are too feeble. Their fear is not even enough to fill the gaps between my teeth." Hu Jinming, somewhat bewildered, asked, "Then where can we find enough fear?" The Fear Demon King, with a seductive voice, replied, "Only the fear produced by human souls is the most delicious nourishment for me." Hu Jinming, upon hearing that it wanted to kill humans, fell into hesitation. A wisp of green fog kept eroding his mind. Again, the persuasive voice of the Fear Demon King resonated. "My poor servant, don't you yearn for great power? Do you want to continue being mocked and trampled by others?" The green light in Hu Jinming's eyes intensified, a surge of impulse instantly suppressing the hesitation in his heart. He immediately grinned and said, "As you command, Master." Soon, they arrived at a residential area. The Fear Demon King smashed open the door of a house. Inside, a man was tightly holding his wife and newborn child, looking at the Fear Demon King in front of them with a face full of horror. Seeing the family of 3, Hu Jinming's clear eyes suppressed the green light and he cautiously said, "Scaring them should be enough to generate fear, right? There's no need to actually kill people." Just then, the man charged forward with a knife. The Fear Demon King, ignoring Hu Jinming's plea, directly pierced the man's abdomen, and then lit the fresh blood from his hand with enjoyment. The fear of humans is indeed much sweeter and more delicious than that of monsters. Hu Jinming, pale-faced, watched all this and timidly muttered to himself, "What exactly is the substitute I've nurtured?" Fear Demon King was crouching on the corpses, constantly sucking in a green breath from him. Moments later, its greedy gaze shifted to the woman nearby. Hu Jinming hurried forward to stop him, loudly condemning Fear Demon King's actions. Seeing this, Fear Demon King sneered menacingly and pushed him against the wall, then proceeds to slap the resistance out of Hu Jinming. The scorching breath sprayed directly onto his face. "Servant, I heed your summon. Born from the despair and fear of all beings absorbed from the depths of your soul, I am the catastrophe. Put away your hypocritical kindness. When I have had my fill, I will naturally grant you invincible power." After saying this, he tossed him next to the woman, threatening, "You kill this woman." Hu Jinming, upon hearing this, was instantly horrified, turned around, and tried to flee the scene. Fear Demon King let out a strange laugh, and a wave of green mist drifted towards Hu Jinming, enveloping him. Hu Jinming's expression became dazed. His face quickly contorted into a ferocious look, his eyes completely filled with a dim green light. He picked up a dagger from the ground, and with a sinister laugh, stabbed at the terrified woman. Seeing her fate sealed, the woman desperately pleaded for her child not to be harmed. Hu Jinming, without any hesitation, immediately filled the room with the woman's wails of agony. Just at that moment, the fog in the corridor swiftly dissipated, and a figure swiftly entered the room. It was Lin Luo, who arrived belatedly. In the room, a man covered in blood was sinisterly stabbing a woman's body repeatedly. The mutilated woman had already stopped struggling. Seeing this, Lin Luo coldly snorted, and without hesitation, ordered Dark Emperor to kill the man.